Hello, beautiful, amazing, fantastic world, and you, wonderful, wonderful, sublime individual. Today, I would like to speak about your imagination is, well, your best tool and friend for spiritual unfoldment and development. Of course, imagination just running rampant and running wild is not what I am trying to allude to here. Imagination structured, I call it pure thinking, or it is called pure thinking, where you direct your thinking, also infusing it with emotions, because when you are emotionally included in your own thinking and perception, areas of study, inner connection to the spiritual world and so on, is also where you can use your imagination. Your imagination, when connected to emotions through your feeling, your heart, brings inspiration to your imagination. So your imagination is no longer fantasies, but they are actually living thought beings, more or less, that comes and goes and flows, and thinking clearly and thoroughly and being able to connect to our thought realm allows us to master our thinking. When we master our thinking, we are much more able to sit silently and stably and steadily within our bodies. And, well, that is kind of the first requisite to master ourselves, right? To be able to handle and to, well, sit in our own being. This is kind of sitting in the sunlight, in the witness of something higher, building trust with higher beings. That is what it is. It is all about having faith, love, hope. And it is kind of, we do not feel content with sitting in faith alone. We want our faith to be enlightened by knowledge, deepened by knowledge, strengthened by knowledge. And that is what it becomes through spiritual science. The magic doesn't disappear by getting to know these things. It truly doesn't. It strengthens it. It really brings magic. It brings life, and it brings the spiritual movement of all of the cosmos into all of this. So you can truly tap into something alive, something. I think it speaks for itself when you truly can get a glimpse of and hints of it, feeling included in, embedded in all of this and in the earth development, and also have the feeling of wishing to do good and allowing your thoughts to be your friend, allowing your emotions to be your friend and your guide. And when you can use your thinking in freedom, aligning it with your emotions in freedom, you can indirectly guide your will towards the true, the good, and the beautiful. So it is all about spiritualizing what we do have within us, so that you can actually tap into the true spiritual feelings behind everything. Every individual has to do this in their own pace and effort, and with how you operate with yourself and how I operate with myself. But we can give each other, inspiration and love. The feeling of connectivity, the feeling of connection. So although we are individual and we do not, we haven't met in the physical, we are seriously connected with each other in the etheric and astral. And I always work and hold myself strong to sending you guys love and gratitude and hope and guidance and protection and love. I always pray that my fellow initiates and fellow spiritual siblings is okay and are safe. I really do. That is what I do every day. And I also, it is all about connecting to the loving feelings, those feelings of, it cannot be mistaken. It is the higher hierarchy. It truly is. It cannot be mistaken, because no lower beings can feel like that, you see. No ecstasy, no kind of anything can truly have a stable, warm, including, understanding and comprehensive love as the higher beings do. But they also are sassy, and they also do have a sense of humor, and they have a sense to, they can also reprimand us, and they can also not like what we are doing, you see. So it is all about building that trust with them. To, as much as possible, strive towards being able to withstand any temptation that the higher hierarchy do not want us to be taken by, you know? Holding our inner being strong to dignity, integrity, and love. Like a modern knight, you know? It is no longer about physical quarrels and muscles and strength. It now is about understanding, meeting one another and seeing each other truly and fully. Being able to feel one another's inner being and understand them and honor and love each other's differences. Now, this is a challenge worthy of an initiate, right? Wouldn't you dare say? It is all about karma is like muddy water. It has become muddy, this muddy water, because it has been dammed up. All you have to do is find where it has been dammed up and start making the water flow again. You see, when it is muddy, it is very hard to maneuver in there. You can barely see anything, you can think clearly, you can't you see? But once the water starts running, moving forward, is when the water starts to become more and more clear, and living beings can start and thriving there again. And this is of course symbols though, but it is spiritual truth behind here. It is all about clearing that cloudy sky, so you can truly clearly see within your own inner being. That is what self-mastery and paying karma slowly and surely is all about. And trying to withstand making more of it by being reactionary, or by being wrathful, or any of the 7 vices really affect the world in a less than favorable way. But if we stand strong to the 7 virtues instead, justice, judgment, fortitude/courage, and prudence, and the higher ones, faith, love, and hope. When you stick strong to these beings, they are kind of the countermeasure of being from, well, pride, sloth, lust, gluttony, greed, wrath, and envy. So, by holding strong to humility too, to not become arrogant, but to still have trust, it is a perfect balance there. And everything is really in the perfect balance. Think about it. We should not become too ascetic, and we should not be too frivolous, having too much fun. It is that balance between frivolity and asceticism. And there is the Christ in the balance, the consciousness, conscious, steady, holding this balance, this equilibrium. And that is where we find our whole human being, in our thinking, feeling, willing. And by studying spiritual science, you are given the concepts to connect to the reality the concepts are pointing towards. So we can actually connect to it in a real sense. But it requires sincerity and honesty with oneself, and more or less just spread your soul bare for God. That you see everything of me. They know you better than you know yourself. You can't hide from higher beings in the end. And that is, I wouldn't want that either. I want them to see me fully, so that I kind of feel ashamed if I do something dumb. That is how I at least operate and try to uphold a certain inner strength, daily practice, daily dedication to the cause. So it is fun to use the imagination, you know, when you can connect it truly. That is what I am doing when I film videos. I actively use my imaginations and memories of my studies and combine everything. It's a kind of a syncretic spirituality, syncretic language, syncretic science, combining many different aspects from all over the world. 12 streams, remember. One of the streams is material science, actually. So, uniting the 12 streams into one stream, so you have an all-encompassing human being, is the best way of describing it. And striving, and patience. We need to have eternal patience, because we are living in incarnation from incarnation. So it is all about tapping into your many lifetimes and realize and to acknowledge reincarnation and karma as part of this earthly development. The more you do it, the more you can come into a certain acceptance and gratitude for life, because karma is not a curse. Karma is an opportunity to make amends for something we did ill. When we pay that karma, we have made amends for that pain. You see? So karma is grace, really. The more we pay of it, the more we heal this world. But we have to pay of the world karma, of the whole karma, every single individual. In freedom. We have to choose to do it in freedom, and it has to, well, we should love it, but only if we can connect to it ourselves, you know. You cannot love it if you can't connect to the love. But it is about faith. Knowing, just, we know, you know. And we follow by that knowing. And what comes out of that knowing is, as you see, results in itself. So it is all about having faith, love, and hope. The love, the warmth, the connectivity. But also being a little strict and stern also. A discipline is important. Think about Michael, as I always use him as an example when it comes to discipline. When it comes to being a stern, silent, a being enclosed within himself in a sense. So by having a certain feeling of inner acceptance and knowing, and a confidence, but humility at the same time. And when you are connected to higher beings, trust, they will always see, are you too prideful, are you arrogant, where are your state of being now? And when they reflect that to you, you readjust yourself constantly adjusting to, okay, I might not be aligned right now. So yeah, I think I will leave you with this today. I am having so much fun these days. May you be guided, blessed, protected, and loved by Father, Holy Spirit, Christ, Michael, Urifiel, ancient masters of old, higher hierarchy, ancestors from every incarnation. And may you be graced to do good and to heal the soul and spirit, to allow yourself to express yourself in a fiery but also controlled and a grounded way. We have the four elements after all: the earthly, the mineral, the watery, the etheric, the plant, the astral, the airy, the nervous system, the animal, and the ego, the fire, the blood, the warmth. So by us uniting them truly under the ego, under the human being, purifying, transforming, you become more and more like the hierarchy. And that is what we strive towards. At least that is what I strive towards. And I wish for you to gain the sense and the connection to the hierarchy, to the good beings. So, thank you. I love you so much. You are amazing. You beautiful individual genius, you. Keep on going and keep on practicing and studying, being curious. Goodbye and love you.